There is one of the topic people have been requesting me to talk about, the topic about the public charge. So today's topic is about public charge and how does that affect you if you are applying for a visa to come to America. So this is the topic which I didn't want to talk at the beginning because there was some injunction at the court. So the decision has already been given out, so we'll be able, now we know it is official, we can talk about it and see what can you be able to do. So for those who do not know, October 24th, 2019, the US administration under Donald J. Trump provided important announcement about the information about public charge, which I'll go to talk about it, but overall, is people can be denied to be given the visa, and I'll explain what type of visas people can be denied to come to America under the ground of the not being eligible because they might be public charge, and I will explain the definition of public charge, how does it start and how does that affect you. So welcome everyone to the EBM Scholars. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, your host as you know. In case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, and in case you are brand new, welcome to the EBM Scholars family, where you can be able to get a lot of information we can share. I'm not the lawyer, I don't have a legal background, but I just I studied myself certain things and I can be able to understand, and I share what I'm going to share with you. So disclaimer, so this is not a legal advice. In case you have any particular situation you need a legal advice, I'll advise you to get the immigration lawyer. So let's go on. So the announcement on September 24th, 2019, which was announcement was not to make sure that there are some people under what we call immigrant visa, and I've been talking about the difference between immigrant visas and non-immigrant visas. And for those who do not know, in a very simple layman way, is immigrant visas are those visas someone is applying to be coming to America and stay here permanent basis. In other words, is to become a permanent resident, to be given a green card. So for instance, if your parents are US citizen, can file for you depending on your age and whether you are single, you are married. If your spouse is American citizen, or your job can petition or file for you, sponsor you to get a green card. So there are different ways on how to get a green card. So all those ways is going to be allowing you to get what we call immigrant visa. And if you are coming on the temporal basis, if you're coming as a student, exchange visitor, tourist, business, all those we call temporary visas or non-immigrant visas. So this one is going to be talking about immigrant visas. So that's number one. So I will be reading some few things which I made a research and which I will be doing that way. So as I said, in October last year, administration came with what they call public charge, and there are some injunction, people went to the court, and so it was on pending for a while. So on January 27th, the year 2020, last month, the Supreme Court made a decision that they'll continue to stay with the this one. So the decision has been approved, whatever. So for that case, this one is going to be implemented, the issue of public charge. So as I said, so the injunction was to prevent the immigration, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services to implement the public charge rule. So I'm going to explain what does the public charge rule means. And all states, so this one is all over America now, all states, they are implementing the public charge rule except one state, Illinois. So the state of Illinois is not applicable, and the injunction is still there. But the rest, it has been the public charge rule is applicable. So the public charge rule, according to legal professionals, they are saying will delay the legal permanent residence and other forms of legal status to individuals who immigration department, wherever, determines are likely to use certain forms of public assistance. So when we talk about public charge, we are talking about being a burden to the US government. And by burden, it means you are going to be requesting support. And I will explain what kind of support we are talking about from the US government. So, but the concept of public charge, it has been this policy or this standard has been since 1800. So don't get confused that this is started just now because of Trump administration. I want to make sure that there are certain things people don't understand. They have been there. It has been since 1800. But in 1999, so since the Congress, first of all, in 1800, Congress passed a law requiring that immigrants must be able to take care of himself or herself without becoming a public charge. That was the year 1800. In 1999, since 1999, public charge was considered to be someone who likely to become primarily dependent on the government for subsistence, based on receiving certain government benefits. So it used to be cash benefits, but now it goes to also any other some of the other things, income maintenance or institutionalization for a long-term care, things of that nature. That's why there will be another presidential proclamation about healthcare system. This is a separate one. They both came around October. So in October they came two. One was the healthcare issue, and one is just public charge in general. So this one was someone not to be dependent to the government, and it used to be cash benefit, but also some other long-term care from the government. So as I said, it used to be on cash benefit, which you call sometimes the food stamp on cash. But now, so the new Department of Homeland Security rule will significantly change the definition of public charge by expanding the list of programs considered. As I said, it used to be public charge from 1999, focusing on cash benefit from the government and a little bit of long-term care on medical. So now this rule of the new public charge has expanded the areas where they are going to be considered as programs to be considered as public charge on determination. And it's now including non-cash benefits. So, for instance, if you get supplemental security income, temporary assistance to needy families, which is TANF, state general relief on general assistance, again, the institutionalization for long-term care, non-emergency Medicaid, supplemental nutrition for assistance, whatever, which is called the food stamp. Section 8 for project-based rental assistance, and Section 8 on housing choices voucher programs, and the public housing in general. So all these now, they are being considered. And for me, let me give one example. When I was becoming a U.S. permanent resident in the year 2012, because I got married in the year 2010, but I didn't apply right away. I applied, was nearby 2011 going to 2012. That's when I made my application to become permanent resident, and I applied based on the marriage. So when I applied application based on the marriage, one of the form which you're supposed to fill is called affidavit of support form. This is is the I-864. So this is the form which you fill. The form which indicates that the sponsor, like if your spouse is going to say is going to be a sponsor, if your spouse doesn't have enough money, you can get a joint sponsor. That means I'll be responsible for this person not to be a public charge. That means if this person has a problem financially, I'll be the one taking care of it. So I want to make sure that, so this thing, it has been there, but it was on, mostly like I can give example, on green card by marriage. I went through the same process, and we filled the form of this complete affidavit of support. So I can go and read some of the aspects of the affidavit of support first of all before. So an affidavit of support, also called the Form I-864, is a document an individual signs to accept financial responsibility for the applicant who is coming to live in the United States. The person who signs the affidavit of support is also called the sponsor. The petitioner must complete that Form I-864. However, if the petitioner's income is insufficient, a joint sponsor may agree to complete that form. And that form is enforceable under the law. So, by signing the Form I-864, the petitioner, including any joint sponsor, is agreeing to use their resources, if necessary, to financially support the beneficiary and any dependents. If the beneficiary dependents receive any designated federal, state, or local means tested public benefits under the U.S. law, the agents providing the benefit shall request a reimbursement because someone from that person who agreed on that way. So, in a very nutshell, this form is to prove that, or to say that I'm not going to be public charge. I'm not going to request financial support from the government. But the only thing has changed now, they have increased the number of items or programs over there. And it used to be there is a clear, so there is what we call the poverty guideline, how much money you need to have to do that way. So this is what they call the public charge. So you need to have a certain income. So for instance, I'm going to be your sponsor. Let's say I'm sponsoring my mother, wants to come to America to get a green card. So if I'm sponsoring my mother, so I'm myself is one person, my wife another person, and then we have 3 kids, so we have a family of 5. So there is a poverty line. So you take what will be the income you are supposed to have is 5 people, a poverty guideline, and then you're including 4,480 to include one more person, so to be 6 people. Then you are supposed to have income of that one. So you have to show either your income, like your job, how much you get, or you need to show the IRS, the tax return, or assets you have to show that way. So I'm going to give you, so this each year, beginning of the year, they are going to update the new list or the new guidelines. We call the U.S. Federal Poverty Guidelines, used to determine financial eligibility for certain federal programs. So this one is a poverty guideline in a very simple way. So on January 15th, 2020, so this is the guideline. So if you're a family of 1, you need to have 12,760. Family of 2, 17,240. Family of 3, 21,000 US dollars, 720. Family of 4, 26,200. Family of 5, 30,680. So the only thing is just to take the one and you are adding 4,480. So it might look like this is a lot of money. Yes, it looks like a lot of money, but this is the income per year. You have to know that. So when we say a family of 1, you need to have 12,760 is average of $1,063 per month. So if you are going to work full-time job, $8 hours per day is 160 hours per week per month, which means it's just average of $6 or $7 minimum wage. So if you have a family of 2, 17,000 is 1,436. That is the monthly income you need to have, which is just like $9 minimum wage for that case. So family of 3, 21,720 is just like the minimum if you have the job of $11.32 and you work for 160 hours per week per month, which is just $8 hours per day. That means that will have the income. So you need to have to know how much. Like, so for me, it's a family of 5. If I'm adding one person to sponsor one person, so I need to show the bank statement, the income, or I need to show what we call the tax return of 35,160, which means including my five family, including one person who is going to be added to be 6 people. So that means average per month, I need to have 2,930, which is average about $18 per hour job if I work 40 hours per week, which is 160 hours in a month. So which is not very, very bad or difficult. For most of the jobs, you can be able to do that. So, but the only thing is the person who is going, because if you are applying green card, there must be a sponsor. So forget about the green card by lottery. I'm talking green card by marriage, green card by family member, spouse is going. I mean, for me as a green card, I can apply for my child, my parents, things of that nature. If the employer is going to sponsor you. So anytime when someone is going to sponsor you for green card, apart from the green card by lottery, so that is number one. But also now with the public charge, you have to show that income now. So this will be implemented this year. We have seen some of the embassies have been already starting requesting people to show this one. Some embassies, they haven't started yet. So no matter what, this is the concept of the public charge, means you might be not eligible to attend unless otherwise you need to provide this proof that you are not going to be this problem. So this is not a problem for if you are coming as a student, because if you're coming as a student, already you will be showing your income as bank statement. You are going to study, you have a scholarship, you already show that I have this income already. So this is not for non-immigrant visas. This is for immigrant visas, because you're coming to live here on permanent basis. Because you cannot come as a student here and ask for a food stamp who can be given. Obviously, you're not going to be given. So you have to know that we are talking about the immigrant visas, visas to come here to become permanent resident. You have to prove that you are not going to be below the poverty line. That means if you're below the poverty line, you are supposed to request for government support. So you are not going to be a public charge. So you need to know the concept of public charge. It has been there since 1800 when the Congress passed the law. 1999, it was specifically modified, but this time they have added certain programs, and most of the programs that have been added are the programs which are non-cash benefits. It used to be you can be green card and you can get benefits which are not cash based. So you can get like a food benefit, but not cash is cash. So those are things which are different a little bit. So if you have any question, I'm going to put some links down here on the description so that you can be able to see or read more about the concept of public charge. If you have any question, put it in the comment and I'll be happy to answer some of your question. And all the best. If you have any question again, please put the question below. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.